All right, it is 6 p.m. It is Monday, February 5th. We'll call our meeting to order and start off with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we'll have the roll call.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Lyon. Collister.
Yes.
Coolman. Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
All right, do we have an approval of tonight's agenda?
So moved.
A motion by Collister.
Second.
Seconded by Rickrell. Any discussion? Take the roll.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Collister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Next is public participation. Anybody in the audience wish to address the council? Anybody on Zoom? If not, we move on. Next is our presentation by the building inspector for the fourth quarter. Brad?
Good evening, council. Good evening, mayor.
Person
How are you
like
guys
he's going
tonight?
up their noteless. This ought to be good.
How are you guys tonight? Josh told me not to just ask if you guys had any questions. I said, I should bring it back. Yeah. I'm here to present, fourth quarter goings-ons, I guess, with the building department. And I guess just some stats that happened. So we had 31 permits totaling $1,965 in the last quarter. Last year we had 23 permits, so we were up a little bit there. The December kind of helped out with the good weather. I think they got some re-roofs done, that some contractors took advantage of that. Total permits in 2022 were 143, and total permits in 2023 were 137. So we're down a little bit there. In the building permit realm, we do permit inspections as they're building or finalizing their construction. And obviously we still have some construction going on from permits that were issued in 2022 still. So we're still doing some of those, i.e. the jail and extension office is still in construction phases. So I visit them every once in a while. I learn from that more than anything, just because there's contractors there that are very helpful. Well, I guess this was just after the fourth quarter. We did a final inspection on a new home up on Forest Drive. Everything looked good there. Got a new tenant or a new owner there. So today I got some plans for the next building they want to do up there. They're hoping for a duplex building on the west side. So hopefully that's a build this year for that. Rental inspections. This year we did singles and duplexes, started those. My goal was around 320 rentals. I got that done. Took a little longer and a little bit more scheduling, mainly because they're singles and they're doubles, so you're driving from here, doing one, driving there, doing another, that type of thing. And some landlords are really good when they have multiple units that they'll schedule them all like in the morning or the whole day. Some take a couple days because they have so many units. This year we'll go with basically the same group, trying to get probably some of the multifamily that people have too, the smaller multifamily. So that takes time. I don't see a lot. I think they're getting used to the safety inspections. They have their batteries in hand when we start, and a lot of times that's what it is. It's 9-volt batteries and the smoke detectors. Sometimes GFCIs, mainly because of Some of them go bad, and some of them, most of them are there, just not working properly. I do spread them out throughout the year though. I think it was kind of the last couple months of the year or October, November when they were performed before. I'm starting them right now, just to get, you know, a workflow throughout the whole year with them. Because sometimes, you know, see if the air conditioners are working. If we do them in the wintertime all the time, all we look at is furnaces. So we should be looking at all that stuff. So I'm just kind of, whenever they're available to get done, I get them done. Property maintenance. Right now, counting up on my desktop, I got 38 properties that I'm still working with or working on. I did present to the property maintenance board this, when was it?
Last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday, yeah. Kind of a high priority list of 25 properties that I feel are probably gonna go right into more of an abatement, court kind of thing. So hopefully, they don't, but I'm gonna start, hitting those pretty hard here soon. You know, hopefully I hope it's not spring yet, but it is feeling like spring out there. And obviously today I went out and took quite a few pictures of properties that are on that list so I can get working on, a plan with a lot of those.
Make sure you take credit for the properties that we had 3 pages, and now we're down to not even a full page. So
Well, you
did an
know,
exceptional job at reaching out to these folks and getting things taken care of.
I think my approach is if it's a small thing, I can get it done by talking with people. And I think some of those complaints that we've had through the years, you know, are stuff that if you stop and talk to them, it'll get done. And sometimes it might take a couple stops, you know. The bigger ones, the ones we've seen for years and years and years, them are the ones that take a little more time. You know, obviously sometimes it's a way of life, that you have to change that attitude a little bit. And, so you just keep working at them, but sometimes courts kind of intervene a little bit there and motivate them a little more. So, we've had some good court cases last year. We've got, a court case coming up here in this month, on a junkyard, and we'll see how that goes. So, any questions? Concerns?
How many rounds are you on for the building inspection stuff? Is this the 3rd, 4th round of everything, or where are we at?
This would be, so I did Terry Court's multifamily last year. This year's group 2, so it'd be single-family duplexes. Group 3 is the next year, which would be this year. And that's just the kind of a group, small multifamily duplexes, singles, you know, depends on the landlord. And then we go right back into trailer courts
Gotcha.
and multifamily the next, it'd be
What's in the-
25.
In the 3rd batch of groups, but you haven't
I-
made a rotation yet itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one issue I have is in the COVID year, they didn't do any. So then in 21, the year before me, they did a whole bunch. So I did talk to some landlords this year. They're a year early, but gratefully they were able or willing to do it, so I could get back into that,
Gotcha.
trying to get 300, 300, 300, or 350, 353, whatever that third is, try to get that done. So doing 600 or 650 in a year is gonna be tough, but
Yeah.
doing 300 is manageable, so.
Sounds good.
All right,
Okay, well, thank you, Brad.
thank you.
Hey, Brad?
Did you want me to sit down for the planning and zoning one?
If you don't mind.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, next we move on to a public hearing, and it's a public hearing regarding a proposal to reallocate certain unspent proceeds of general obligation capital loan notes, Series 2019A. Do we have anybody in the audience? Anybody on Zoom? Anybody here have any questions?
Motion to close the public hearing.
We have a motion to close.
A second.
We have a motion by Colister, seconded by Rickrell. And if we have no discussion, then take the roll.
Colister,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Item B is a public hearing regarding proposal to reallocate certain unspent proceeds of general obligation capital loan notes, Series 2021A. Once again, anybody in the audience wish to address us? Anybody on Zoom?
Motion to close.
We have a motion by Simonson,
Second.
seconded by Rickrell. And if we have no discussion, take the roll.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item 8 is our consent agenda, consisting of the minutes from the January 15th, 2024 regular city council meeting, bills payable through February 5th, 2024 in the amount of $265,545.89, and a renewal of a Class B retail alcohol license for Dollar General, number 2295.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Bennett. We have no discussion, take the roll.
Bennett,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
We make it to old business. Item A is an ordinance, number 1214, ordinance adopting the Code of Ordinances of the City of Maquoketa, Iowa, and this is our second reading.
So moved.
Motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Alinger. Do we have any discussion? Then take the roll.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item B is a resolution instituting proceedings to take additional action and approving the relocation of certain unspent proceeds of general obligation capital loan notes, Series 2019A in the City of Maquoketa.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Rickrell. Any discussion? Anything to add?
No, doing great so far.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, take the roll.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
All right, item C is a resolution instituting proceedings to take additional action and approving and reallocating of certain unspent proceeds of general obligation capital loan notes, Series 2021A of the City of Maquoketa, Iowa.
So moved.
Motion by Simonson,
Second.
seconded by Bennett. And if we have no discussion, take the roll.
It's me.
Oh, sorry, Alinger. Alinger did it, sorry about that.
It's okay.
All right, take the roll.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Okay, we make it to item 10, new business. Item A is a resolution authorizing purchase of Motorola in-car cameras and police body cams with a 5-year cloud storage arrangement in the total amount of $130,628.76. Brendan, it's all yours.
City Manager Bolt summed it up pretty good in the summary here, but essentially our body worn camera program's about 10 years old. We've known it's been at the end of life for probably the better part of a year now, maybe a little bit more. And we've been working on ideas of how we fund that. I actually applied for a grant last year to get body worn and in-car cameras replaced. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. And we were working on ideas of funding for the coming year. And as stated in the outline here, about 3 weeks ago, our system went down. And from a personal standpoint, when they came into effect, I hated the idea of it, of having a body camera. Now I don't want to work without one. I feel vulnerable, and I know my people do as well. So I had actually already been searching some companies out based on our prior planning of what we wanted to do with possibly looking at a grant or funding opportunities when this all happened. So it just so happened I had these 2 places already in order. Did a lot of research on them, and we currently have Motorola already which had bought out the company that we used to use, and that's why they kind of got to end of life. So after doing some research, the county actually goes with Motorola as well. I really liked the cloud-based storage system and how user-friendly it was. So that's kind of why we went with them instead of Sector. And the money obviously is a huge factor as well. So that was kind of the basis behind going with that company over the other. It was just kind of made sense. The one thing I guess I will say that I'm still waiting to get a bid on was the installation of the in-car cameras. I did reach out to the county, and when they had theirs done, it was approximately $600 a car. So I'll still have that expense for our 5 vehicles. But other than that, this is a total package that you're seeing that will get us through the 5 years and the storage. And the other thing that made this one a little bit higher than would have been for Motorola was I made sure we include the redaction capabilities. We've been really fortunate over the years that we didn't have a sensitive thing that we had to blur anything out when we released a video for open records request. So I made sure that we had that capabilities this time and moving forward. So it'll help us for that as well. So that was a little bit, probably another $10,000 on that entire bid. But I think it's the way to go.
Josh, what's in the CIP?
He had some money allocated, and it wasn't much for this.
That's
And
my problem.
It was roughly
Yes.
like 20 grand throughout the
Well-
3 line items or something.
going back some time, this wasn't an issue 15 years ago, but this should have been saved for a long time before now. And this is probably the only time Chief Zion will ever be able to approach us having these bond proceeds and these savings on the South Main connector and have this parachute. But yes, there's a problem here, and we're gonna have to save for this in the future.
Obviously, on anything of a rotation, in squads, and I'm not blaming him, and I'm not blaming anybody, but yeah, the CIP is obviously not at its potential where it needs to be, so let's work on that and get that increased. and
Yeah.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Simonson. Any discussion? And take the roll.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Okay, passes. Item B is a resolution authorizing purchase of in-squad mobile data terminals through Mainstay in the total amount of $29,495. Go ahead.
So this again all started along the same lines. We identified an issue that we wanted to move forward with. Last year it was brought up and I said, I think we can get one more year out of these before we need to move forward. So we were gonna do that and this just came up with, let's get all our bids in order to do this now. Reaching out and doing some research on this. The mean time to failure of life of our tablets is 5 years. We're going on 7 years of it. So we're basically at that point where we're on borrowed time. Just something that we rely on heavily. Anybody that's been in a squad car now knows that pretty much everything is electronic. We do tickets, accident reports, receive calls, communications. There's also a safety feature with it because officers are on a GPS location with that dispatch knows where they're at. So we're limping along with that as well. And this was something that we had looked at that we wanted to move on here in the upcoming fiscal year as well. But this just is an opportunity to go all at once.
No move.
Okay, we have a motion by Simonson,
Second.
seconded by Colister. Any discussion? Take the roll.
Bennett,
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
All right, we make it, thanks, Brendan. We make it item C, and it's a resolution declaring items as additional surplus and authorization for rescale. So, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This one's pretty simple. You've seen a few of these now in the last year or so. Scott, the YMCA, and the YMCA crew needs to make room for this quad tower that's ordered. We clear out a couple stationary bikes, I'm thinking quad anyway. And then the dock that's being taken out of Horseshoe Pond, there's a potential person interested in that. We can't just give it away. We have to declare it as surplus first. So that's what's in front of you here tonight.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Alinger. And if we have no discussion, take the roll.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rick Earl.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item D is a resolution approving Maquoketa Fire Department officers and pay. I guess for the record, I'll say Fire Chief is Al Mulhausen, Assistant Chief and Safety Officer is Mark Beck, Deputy Chief is Pete Schuler, Captain is Craig Mulhausen, the other captains are Bjorn Beck and Greg Bopes, Lieutenant is Bob Mitchell, Safety Officer is Bob Lane, Training Officer is Ryan Myers, Fire Prevention is Greg Bopes, Secretary and Records is Bjorn Beck, and Maintenance is handled by Al Mulhausen, Corey Simonson, and Dave Newman.
So moved.
Motion by Colister. Seconded by Rickrell. If we have no discussion, take the roll.
Rick Earl.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Abstain.
Okay, that does pass. Item E is a resolution regarding the collection of payment for city costs to abate nuisances and enforce ordinances.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Simonson, seconded by Bennett. And do we have any discussion? Anything you wish to add, Josh?
I do not, thank you, Mayor.
Okay, then take the roll.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rick Earl.
Yes.
That passes. Item F is a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the Iowa Department of Revenue and the City of Maquoketa for participation in the state set-off program.
This is for income set-off collection, and we have to form a new agreement with the state who sent us a new memorandum. If we participate in their programs, this is business as usual. I haven't had to deal with one of these since I've been here, but this is required to be in the program.
Okay. Motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Alinger. Any discussion? Then take the roll.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rick Earl.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Passes. Item G is a discussion and possible motion setting Monday, April 1st, 2024 at 5:30 as a public hearing date regarding property tax levies. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is part of the new House File 718 rules, where we have to have an exclusive meeting dedicated solely to the purpose of discussing the property tax levy. So it may or may not have happened already, but everyone in the mail will be receiving basically a collection of postcards of what taxing bodies are doing. Did they go up? Did they go down? And it requires us to have notice of when that the property tax levy public hearing date is, and that's all we can talk about. I can't get into budget stuff. I can't get into explaining what does what. I have to stay within the lane, and we have to keep an open meeting for at least 15 minutes and welcome any public comment if necessary. So I almost went overboard and started discussing some of that now, but we're a little bit unfinished at the Finance and Personnel Committee, but we'll soon have all that, and I think we'll have good news for property owners soon.
Okay, very good.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Colister, seconded by Rickrell. Any discussion? Take the roll.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rick Earl.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
All right, item H, that passes, by the way, and item H is a discussion and possible motion approving Disadvantaged Businesses Enterprise Program and authorizing the mayor to sign it. So, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is part of the FAA procedural funding for the airport runway extension, and it's a simple goal statement for spending money with FAA funds dedicated towards disadvantaged businesses, and that's not necessarily on us. It's on the general contractor, the airport consultant that manages the job on the city manager's behalf, verifies the paperwork, and the spending goal for these DBEs is 1.6% of the funding, which is a grand minority. But we have to have these things in place for this federal funding.
Okay,
So moved.
motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Bennett. Any discussion? And take the roll.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rick Earl.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Item A is a resolution approving applications for urban revitalization tax exemption. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This, I don't think 16's that many, but according to Brad and Judy, this is a pretty high number for what we've done in the past, and it'd be really nice to see more of these. And I think there were a lot of improvements in town, and as people start to talk about what this is and improving properties, and on the application, there's a pretty significant benefit to places that have the multi-residential discount if they're improving their properties. Hope to see more of these in the future, but these 16 here tonight have filled out the application. They've been verified by Brad as complete. This is a proposal to approve in mass. Assuming approval, they go over to county. And then on the following year, they're added into the assessor's system as a discount on the increased value, so that the tax bill from that point forward reflects that abatement or discount on it. So it does take some time. It's a valuable program. Wish the number was higher than 16, but again, I guess it's all relative, and hopefully next year we return with some more.
Okay.
So moved.
Motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Bennett. If we have no discussion, take the roll.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item J is an ordinance rezoning 311 South Second Street, 307 South Second Street, and 305 South Second Street from R1 residential to R2 residential, and amending current city zoning map for the city of Maquoketa, and this is the first reading. So, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This one, and Brad could get into specifics here if you wish to ask questions, but 311 South Second Street wishes to become a bed and breakfast. It's a big, beautiful red brick house on South Second. And to connect that R2 zoning, you have to get to these other two properties first so that you have some sort of contiguous flow with R2. And so they did host a Planning and Zoning Commission meeting around this very topic. It was passed and recommended to approve and on to you from this point.
Are the residents on either side okay with this?
Brad?
So we actually had to do this twice because of a mistake I made on publishing. Obviously, our goal is not to have islands of zoning. So I didn't publish the other two properties, so I had to redo this. So we did actually 2 meetings and no one showed up for either. And that's where we're at.
Okay,
So no objections.
no objections, okay.
So moved.
We have a motion by Colister,
A second.
seconded by Rickrell. And if we have no discussion, take the roll.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item K is an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Maquoketa, Iowa by adding a new stop sign at South Otto Street. First reading. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is I guess this is a good tale of a citizen contacting a council member and saying, hey, I have this minor but solvable issue here in my neighborhood. And this intersection at South Otto and East Locust didn't have any signage at all. So we're not talking about yield sign going to a stop or anything like that. Luckily, there have been no reported accidents that I'm aware of here, but it's not to say one couldn't happen in the future. So this objectively is looking to put a stop sign on the South Otto side of this intersection, so there's a stop there.
So moved.
Motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Alinger. If we have no discussion on this, call the roll.
Alinger.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. And item I is a resolution approving annual city real estate sales listing agreement with CBRE. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is now going to be a annual formality with CBRE. And CBRE was an affiliate of Hubble Realty. We signed with Hubble Realty last year, and they were a franchisee of CBRE. And CBRE decided to buy the company out. So my emphasis to you is it's the same people, it's the same person that's been responsible for a lot of commercial development already here. This is just something that now apparently has to come forward every year because of the new acquisition.
Okay.
So moved.
Motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Alinger.
Sorry.
I pointed to you. It's okay.
All right, if we have no discussion, take the roll.
Bennett.
Yes.
Simonson.
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. We make it to reports and communications. Anything from any of the council members? City manager?
I do have nothing to report, thank you.
Okay, I take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Rickrell,
Second.
seconded by Bennett. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? We're adjourned.